What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Matt Ramage Show. And what's up? We're going to talk about this thing. We're going to talk about the Packers lost to the Lions, all right? It took me a couple of days. I had to recuperate, you know what I mean? But I want to talk about this thing. But big shout out to Quick Trip sponsoring all that I do. They got the Packer points rolling up, people. Every dollar you spend at Quick Trip is a Packer point. You use those points to go on the Quick Rewards app, and you can enter for sweepstakes, all type of stuff. They have a cooler that you can drive like a remote control car. That's what I'm going for. I don't know what you're going for, but that is what I'm going for. You can also win a tailgate spot with like Charlie Barron's, you know what I mean? That'd be all right, you know what I mean? They have all types of cool stuff. But all right, let's get into this thing. All right, the Packers lose to the Lions. You know, my phone, whenever the Packers lose, kind of lights up a little bit, kind of starts vibrating, doing all these weird things because all the haters do. They just waiting. But the thing that I always think is funny about like people that come at me, like I respect it. If you come at me before the game and you're talking with me, and then I'm talking my smack, and then the Packers lose and you come at me, I respect that, all right? I expect it. I'm waiting for it. I know I'm ready for it. But people who don't talk, then they wait until after the game, and then they're like, they just start talking trash. Like, no, bro, like, I don't care what you think. Because you're like all the safe trash talker. I'm not a safe trash talker, you know what I mean? I'm going to talk trash. And if they lose, you know, I'll be right here. But like the people who wait, and they'll tell you too, like, I don't talk trash until after the game. Well, I'm not talking to you then. You're boring. You know what I mean? I feel like you're boring. Like if you're only gonna talk trash, like if they win, and some people don't like to talk trash at all, and that's fine. I get people commenting on my stuff. First of all, I want to say to Lion fans who like are maybe new to me, like it's follow me or whatever. Because I know a lot of Lion fans have been following me for a while. Some of them like me because I don't talk trash about the Lions, because the Lions were never really an enemy. They were never, I don't want to say relevant because I'm not trying to talk trash right here. I'm just trying to say, but like I talk trash, but it's just trash talk. It ain't personal. I respect Lion fans, like for the most part. Not all of them. I respect most of the Lion fans that I have encountered. They're loyal. You know, you got to be loyal if you're a Lions fan. But one thing I do find sketchy, you know what I mean? Like Lions fans did I wouldn't say take over Lambeau. They were a lot of Lion fans at Lambeau Field. I want to talk about that too because that's embarrassing. But there was a time when they couldn't even fill their own stadium. You know what I mean? So, like, now that they're good, they're coming up, popping up, you know what I mean? And I get it. That's what's going to happen. But, like, I know that there's a lot of true Lion fans. So I'm not going to lump all Lion fans in with that because I don't think they're not all I mean, I'm going to say bandwagon. I wouldn't call it a bandwagon because they haven't done anything. They haven't won the division since, like, 92 or something. Something crazy. Early 90s for sure. But I think it's weird that they pop up everywhere, and you know now they're like DMing me. They're all over social media. Like I have a Lions page on Instagram trashing me. I looked, his page was made 2 years ago. Like that's sketchy, bro. I'm not gonna even engage with you. You're new. I don't know. You just got here. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I want to say Lion fans, it's all love. You know, I'm gonna talk some trash. We're gonna have a good time because the Lions, you know, Bears are the new Lions, right? Bears haven't won a game since last year. I don't know, so long ago. I think it was at 12 games or something. I forget it. It's some crazy number. Bears are 0-4. So the Bears are the new Lions. But the Lions, when they were like on their downfall, when they were like, you know, not doing nothing forever, Packer fans kind of felt bad for them a little bit. Like I didn't really talk trash about Lions because I'm not kick someone like when they're down. And Lions fans, you know, for the most part, are always cool with me. All the trash that I talk, for the most part, 80% of the trash that I talk is because someone's talking trash to me. And then I get riled up, and then I talk trash. Even though I don't always point it at them, I'll make a video, I'll do whatever. But a lot of times it's the Vikings because Viking fans don't shut up. So then I get amped up, and I'm like, all right, I'll make a video. I got some stuff to say. And the Lions fans haven't really done that. Now they're starting to, and I get it because, you know, they're on top of the division. I'd talk. If I was a Lions fan right now, I wouldn't shut up. I mean, I don't shut up anyways. But if I got no problem with Lion fans getting chirpy. But Viking fans, dude, no one cares that you won a game. All right. I see them like, oh, we won and we're one game behind the Packers. Bro, you beat a team that has 0 wins. Like when you beat a team that has won a game this season, come talk to me, bro. Like I don't care about that win. Kirk Cousins, pick 6. That was a beautiful moment. Then he went and go and try to tag and got lit up. That was a great thing. But the NFC North is trash. That's just what it is. It's not. a good division. There's two teams. There's the Lions and then there's the Packers. And I think the Packers are going to catch up. But understand this. Like during the offseason, everyone said this is going to be ups and downs for the Packers. It's going to be some ups. It's going to be some downs. And there weren't some downs and people freak out. And then they do. We knew this was going to happen. We knew. I mean, we didn't know that they were going to lose to the Lions or whatever. A lot of people predicted it, though. Not me. But a lot of people predicted it. But we knew that this team was going to struggle. Everyone wants to point to Jordan Love. You know, he didn't have a good game. They're talking about showing me all these stats. Show the offensive line stats, bro. And I'm not saying Jordan Love is like criticizable or whatever. Yeah, he's a young quarterback. He's going to make some mistakes. But the offensive line was horrible. Like he had no time. He had nothing to do. Everyone's like, oh, I wish we had Aaron Rodgers. We wouldn't have done nothing. All right. If Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback, we'd have lost. Same way we lost. All right, maybe, experience would have helped some of the because I think Aaron Rodgers did disguise some of the offensive line flaws at times. You get away with stuff. He's got experience in that way. They got to move that pocket, but I'm happy with what Jordan Love has been doing this season. Obviously, the Lions game, not so good. But I think as a whole team, that was horrendous. The defense is not playing how they should play. Defense is not playing at all. Like the talent they have, Jair was out. They got some guys out, but that defense is better. The players are better than what's happening. So, everyone talks about Joe Barry. LaFleur sticking with them always. We'll see how that goes if this season doesn't get flipped real quick. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think this is a young team. The defense isn't young though. The defense should be playing at I think the top 10 level. And they're not doing that. But it's early in the season. There's gonna be some learning curves. You know what I mean? I'm still excited about this team. I think it's gonna be a battle till the end. I do. I think that the Packers still have a chance. It's 4 weeks in. People like to people got what do they call it? Monday morning quarterback. But it's just like panic mode. Anytime the Packers lose a game, it's panic mode. Season's over. You know what I mean? But I'm not worried. I mean, I'm not worried because I don't expect him to win every single game this year. Like, there's a lot of it's going to be about guys coming together. These injuries suck. Aaron Jones barely played. And I assume that's because of the injury. Everyone's like, Matt LaFleur doesn't want to run him. And I was saying the same thing during the game. I was yelling at Matt LaFleur at my TV. Yeah, I wasn't live for that one. It's funny because when I'm live streaming the games and when I'm watching them, because I watched that game for the first time, I watched the game in a long time by myself and just like in my living room, no cameras. And that's how I used to watch the game and just scream at my TV. But when I'm live streaming, you can't just scream all the time because nobody wants to hear that. They're wearing headphones or whatever. I don't know what they're doing. But it's just different because when I'm watching it, when I'm live streaming it, it's more like I'm watching it with people. And I'm just going to start screaming on. But when you're alone, you just let everything out. And so Matt LaFleur, But anyways, first of all, I love Matt LaFleur. But I don't love every decision he's ever made. I feel like he could be better in some spots, but who am I? I work at Cheese Factory. I couldn't do it. But Aaron Jones, though, is a key injury. I think that's why he wasn't playing a lot. And I probably shouldn't have started in fantasy, but I did. And I still won, though. I want to mention that, though, real quick. Tom Crabtree. I'm playing Tom Crabtree in fantasy this week. Beat him down, bro. Stomped him out. It was over before the 3 o'clock games. That's how much I dominated Tom Crabtree in fantasy football. I have a fantasy football show tomorrow. I'll get into that. You know what I mean? I'll get into that, bro. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, live with Dakota. Rev Trev ain't going to be there this week. He's got some stuff going on. But me and Dakota are going to break that thing down. It's going to be good. But I'm not talking trash about Crabtree. I think he dominated the week before. He's got a better record than me. But and I started Jordan Love, who he got me 20 points, but Lamar Jackson was sitting there, but I couldn't resist starting Jordan Love. But the week I started Jordan Love is the week he got the least amount of points. So I'm probably not going to start no more because if that's any type of jinx in real life over fantasy, that's what I say. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think people need to calm down a little bit. But I do appreciate the trolls though, because I'd be seeing them. They'd be tagging me all day long. Like Friday, I was kind of quiet. People were like, "Oh, where you at? You hiding? Can't take the heat, bro." And I'm like, dude, I'm on vacation, bro. I went back to work on Saturday. I took a day. All right. I took a day Friday and I just chilled out, put my phone down and kind of just dwelled on it. I watched some Netflix. I did stuff around the house, but That game did irritate me though. It did tick me off, but not because they lost. Because I have a problem that I have a problem with like how Lions fans like invaded Lambeau Field. They're doing Lambeau leaps. And let's talk about that. Dude did a Lambeau leap, right? Found some Lion fans, jumped in the stands. Hurts my heart a little bit. Don't like to see it, but whatever. Don't like it. Keep them out of the end zone and keep the Lion fans out the seats. But it is what it is. They were there, and then someone dumped a beer on his head, right? And everyone's like, that's disrespectful. I don't agree at all. I'm all for. Now, would I dump a beer on someone's head? No, I wouldn't dump a beer on no one's head. But if you jump in the stands, if whether it was Aaron Rodgers or Aaron Jones, all the guys talked about it. Donald Driver back in the day, they all talked about when you jump in the stands, you come out smelling like beer. Beer gets spilled on you. I don't think generally a whole beer gets dumped on your head. But that's what it is, bro. You jump in the stands as an opposing team, you might get beer dumped on your head. I'm not for disrespecting fans or players at Lambeau Field. Like if a player's walking by and you're above them and you're dumping beer on their head like that, you're a douchebag. You know what I mean? I'm not for that. But I will say this about the beer dumping on head thing. I was watching at the beginning of the game, right? How the away team, their tunnel is like real narrow. You know, anyone who's been on a tour, like really been down there, can kind of see what it is. It's real narrow. There's fans on both sides. The Lions players were waiting to come out. No Packer player or Packer fan was even screaming at them. No, they weren't. You know, you see it in other stadiums when they're screaming at them. They're like sometimes throwing stuff at them. They're getting all crazy. No one was even paying them any attention. Like they didn't even know that they were there. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But they were right there, and no one's screaming. No one's heckling them. No one's dumping beer on them. But you jump into stands, bro. The game changes. The rules change. You jump in the stands at Lambeau Field and you are not a Packer player, you might get a beer dumped on your head. And as far as I'm concerned, that's an honor. Someone dumped like $13 on your head. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all. But speaking of like the stadium stuff, it seems like every week we see fights at NFL games. And it's so irritating because I've been to Lambeau Field many, many times. I've never even seen a fight. Not saying they don't happen. They obviously do. Where drunk people get together, every now and again, they're going to scrap it out. You know what I mean? Not me. I've never been in a drunk fight since I was, whatever, too young to drink. You know what I mean? But that's not what I do. But anyways, I don't fight. I figured out at a young age, not good at it. Let's try to avoid that contact. You know what I mean? But I always notice, though, whenever there's an NFL fight, it's always like some drunk dude who can barely stand. Like I saw one a day from this last Sunday. Someone was holding his arms back while this dude just was like going to town on his face. It's like, dude, like, congratulations. You had to have someone hold someone down to beat up some drunk dude who could barely stand to begin with. And that's what it always is. Some dude just beefing out with some dude that can barely stand. It's so stupid. First of all, like, why are you fighting people because your team caught an L or because they bumped into you? Maybe you spilled your beer. Like, dude, get over it, bro. Like these Barstool Sports type dudes, you know what I mean? And I don't mean the people who are on Barstool Sports, but the people who listen and watch them. They're all like the bros, you know what I mean? Always ready to fight something. I think it's stupid. I don't know what happens. Like you get kicked out. Like, are you banned from NFL stadiums forever? I don't know, but it's stupid. I would never ever get a fight. I was at the Niners game when the Niners beat the Packers in the playoffs. I was like right next to a Niner fan, and the only one beefing with him at the end of the game when the Niners won is the girl he was with was screaming and crying and screaming, yelling at him and trying to get people riled up at him. And then I was like, dude, like, calm down, whatever. Like, he's allowed to celebrate. People are allowed to celebrate, all right? People are allowed to have a good time, even if that's not their team, you know, not their team. I don't know. I don't get it. I would never, ever try to fight someone just because, like, they're, like, the opposing team. But, I don't know. Joe Barry, though, if this defense doesn't come back, a lot of people like ask me about Joe Barry because I really don't say much. I don't like. I'm not a like, hey, fire everybody type of guy. That's not what I do. But if this defense doesn't turn around and doesn't do some big things this season, then like absolutely, I think if this defense isn't turned around by the end of the year and he's not fired, I think Matt LaFleur has to be in question. Like they can't have that much talent, that much top picks, and not performing on defense. And just, dude, I can't stand that. Like Mike McCarthy, like, you know, back in the day. Like, it seems like so many coaches are so loyal to these defensive coordinators. They end up blowing big games. I'm talking about like back in the day. But Joe Barry, like the defense is not performing as good as they are, dude. As good as they are, they got some injuries. So like, I'm not yelling fire everybody. I'm not for firing coaches during the season. I mean, a defensive coordinator, I guess you could, if you had to, if you felt like you had another guy in line. But like, when does that ever work out that great when you fire coaches during the season? So like, I'm more of a like, let's see if they can figure this thing out, because everyone's mad. And that's the thing too. Matt LaFleur got attitude with I forget what reporter it was. Got an attitude in the press conference after the game, and people are like, "Oh, like, oh, Matt LaFleur is rude," and dude, that's stupid. I just think it is. I was arguing with someone on Instagram, which I kind of regret. After the game, I was kind of riled up, a little bitter, but they were like, "Oh, Matt LaFleur couldn't handle it if he was in a New York or if he was in a big city." I'm like, that's stupid. First of all, everyone talks about the big bad media of New York. New York always sucks. The Jets always suck. So what happens? Oh, they ask you a lot of questions. Who cares? You think these coaches care? Like, nobody cares. Like, and then like look at like, and then they talk about Matt LaFleur. He was kind of rude, and he apologized because he was like, I think that he was a little too much. But even the reporter, I forget his name. Even he was like, I don't know why you apologize. You don't got to apologize, because that's what it is. You just lost the game. You're gonna be a little bit rude. Maybe you've seen Bill Parcells back in the day. Ditka would just straight up like kick reporters out. Like, he would just like scream at them and yell at them. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think it's, I wouldn't say part of the job to a certain degree, but I don't think what Matt LaFleur, I think he said it was a BS question, which it wasn't. But he was upset, so I don't. To me, it seemed like people were trying to like bury him, like, oh, I lost respect for Matt LaFleur. Like, shut up. I shouldn't say that. I should say shut up, because I get it. But I still don't think, like, after a game, dudes are heated up. I get heated up after a loss. I ain't do nothing. But I get onto Twitter. I get onto places. I have to calm down sometimes, because I don't want to say things I regret, like be rude to people I don't want to be rude to. But, like, you get fired up. You get mad, especially him. He put all the work in. They do all the things, and then to go out there and just get punched in the face like that. That sucks. Get punched in the face by the Lions. Lions have been the punching bag for most of your life. Most of my life. Since I was a kid, in the 90s. I was like in my teenage years then. Like, I think I don't know how old I was, but like 16, I think, right around when the Packers won Super Bowl 31. I remember that quite well. But yeah, not no more. The Lions, I wasn't sure if the Lions would stay being good. I knew that they were on the come up, but I wasn't sure that they were going to stay there. I didn't sure that Campbell, that type of coaching, which I think is great. I love that just tough guy, like, will kick your face in type of coach. I kind of like that. It kind of gets me excited a little bit when you see teams out there just screaming and, ready to run through a wall. I like that. And that's what he has, but I think there's some about like the Matt LaFleur type of guy too. The guys who are kind of quieter, nice eyebrows, you know what I mean? But those type of guys who are like creative with the offense and, gimmicky and just have a good offensive game plan. But so far, Matt LaFleur, sometimes some of his offensive decisions, I don't know, they got me scratching my head. You know what I mean? Just let Madden pick your plays, you know what I mean? But no, I'm just kidding. But then everyone's talking about, which I ain't gonna talk about more 2 seconds, the Taylor Swift situation. All right, I don't talk about it, all right? But it drives me nuts, because the thing is, with the Taylor Swift situation, if you get mad, you go on Twitter and be like, whatever. Everyone's like mad, like, like you're sexist, you're whatever. I have no problem with Taylor Swift. I don't listen to her music, but I actually like her. I think she's always happy, and she's always having a good time. So, like, whatever, have a good time with it. But the NFL is going overboard. They're like changing their bio, like Taylor Swift stuff. They're like doing all this stuff. It's annoying. I didn't watch the Jets game the last night, the Sunday Night Football game. I didn't watch. I watched for a little bit, and I was like, I'm good. I checked on the score every now and again. I already had fantasy wrapped up. Like, I don't care who's in the stands. I just don't. That's all they talk. It's just weird to me. But ain't no hate for Taylor Swift. She's one of the biggest stars in the world, one of the most famous people in the world. So, and I get it. It's just it's good for both of them. Taylor Swift, she's having a good time, but also she's got some stuff coming out, a record, or whatever she's got coming out, movie, or I don't know what she's doing. But and in the NFL, they got a lot of new people watching. People that wouldn't, and out of those, whatever, how many people, lots of them, maybe a couple of them, good chunk of them stick around and become loyal NFL fans. So, it's good for everyone, but I don't really care. I never cared who Aaron Rodgers was dating. I'll never care who Jordan Love is dating. Hope they're all happy, having a good time, but I don't focus on players' love lives, you know what I mean? But anyways, we got next week, or no, tomorrow, fantasy football show. We got Dakota in the building, and then Wednesday we're doing the Pick'em show. We got Ryan Schlepp, known as Pack Daddy, over on the Tweeter sphere, you know what I mean? And we're gonna get this thing. I'm trying a new streaming thing, kind of switched up my thing because it was kind of laggy, the one I was using. So I'm hoping that this one's a little bit better. Hopefully it's good, because I don't like it when it's laggy, especially when I'm live. You know what I mean? I'm not live right now, but we're gonna do this thing. But all right, here we go. So the Packers play the Raiders. I think that's gonna be a good game. I think Devontae Adams got hurt. Hopefully he's all right. I didn't hear any details on it. I saw it like way after the game. I saw someone talking about it. So hopefully he's all right. It would be awesome to see Jair and Devontae Adams going at it. We'll talk about that on the Pick'em show and all types of stuff. But yeah, the Lions game sucked, and the game before that Saints game, that was awesome. I think I talked about it. I'm not sure if I did, but that was a good time. Met a lot of cool people. Yeah, I think I did talk about this, but that cooking guy, you know, that Flavor Town guy, he was over at the tailgate, and I didn't know it was him, and I was like, hey, you look like that cooking guy, and he's like, yeah, I get that a lot. And then I found out later it was him, and I felt like a douchebag. But shout out to that guy, you know what I mean? Flavor Town, I forget his name again. No disrespect, he's highly successful. He's killing the game, and he seems like a very cool guy. You know, like when I said you look like that guy, he can be like, bro, I am that guy. I am that man. You know what I mean? He could have got all cocky. I mean, he didn't. Everyone that, you know, a few people I talked to sensed about it because I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. I can't believe I said that. They're like, dude, he's super cool, and he seems super cool. So shout out to him. You know what I mean? And shout out to everyone who's listening to this. All right. Go Pack, go. We're going to get out this thing. No intro today. No music. Oh, I had a little music in the front. But we're out here. Go Pack, go. Big shout out to Quick Trip, sponsoring all the stuff that I do. And go Pack, go. We out of here. You know what I mean?